In every moment of our lives, there is a deeper purpose that often goes unnoticed. As we navigate the challenges, struggles, and quiet seasons of waiting, we might question why we are here or what our true calling is. But what if I told you that you are not here by chance? That every experience, every trial, and every hardship you faced has been a part of a divine plan orchestrated long before you were even born. The truth is, you are chosen. This moment right here, right now, is part of something much bigger than you can imagine. It is a sacred invitation to step into your true purpose and embrace the transformation that God has already set in motion for your life. For many, being chosen can feel like an overwhelming responsibility or even a burden. It can be easy to look around and feel disconnected, misunderstood, or out of place, especially when the world seems to move on without understanding your journey. But being chosen is not about seeking approval or accolades from the world. It is about listening to a higher calling and embracing a path that is not always comfortable, but always purposeful. It means walking through fire and enduring hardship, knowing that each step is refining you for something greater. This journey is not for the faint-hearted, but it is for those who are willing to rise above the noise, step into the unknown, and walk boldly in the divine purpose God has called them to fulfill. You may have already experienced moments where you felt abandoned, rejected, or forgotten, but these were not signs of failure, they were preparations. Every painful moment, every rejection, every lonely night was shaping you, refining you, and strengthening you to carry out the assignment that only you can fulfill. The world may not understand your path, and those closest to you may question your choices, but that is the very essence of what it means to be chosen. The chosen are often misunderstood, isolated, and even ridiculed, yet their faith remains unshaken. They continue to walk not because they are stronger, but because they have been strengthened by their trust in a higher purpose. In this sacred moment, the waiting ends. The divine alignment that has been unfolding for generations is now becoming clear. The shift has already begun, and you are ready to embrace the fullness of what God has prepared for you. It's time to rise, to step fully into your divine purpose, and to understand that this is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where you are no longer defined by your struggles or your past, but by the love, strength, and calling that have been planted within you from the very beginning. So, are you ready? The time to step into your purpose is now. Embrace the transformation, trust the process, and know that you are not alone. The journey ahead may not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. God has already equipped you with everything you need to fulfill your divine calling, and now is the time to walk in it with confidence, knowing that you are chosen, you are loved, and you are exactly where you need to be. Before you were born, before you took your first breath, God had already set a divine plan in motion for your life. You were chosen not by accident, but by design. Every step you've taken, every moment of joy, every tear of sorrow, and every season of struggle has been leading you to this very point. You are part of a divine narrative that has been unfolding for generations, and now it is your turn to play a pivotal role in that story. The truth is, you are here for a purpose that goes beyond the ordinary, something sacred and significant that only you can fulfill. The concept of being chosen might feel daunting or even elusive at times. The world often tells us to chase after success, recognition, and validation, but the calling on your life is not about seeking external approval. It's about understanding that you were created for something far greater, something that goes beyond your immediate circumstances. God in His infinite wisdom knew you would be equipped to face the trials and challenges that would come your way. In fact, these very challenges are part of what qualifies you to walk this chosen path. As the Bible says in Jeremiah 2:9-11, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." These words are not just comforting, they are a declaration of God's intentional design for your life. Your divine calling isn't a matter of chance, but a matter of destiny. You were handpicked by God to fulfill a purpose that is unique to you. The road may not always be easy, and there may be moments when you doubt the path, but each challenge is shaping you into the person you need to become in order to walk confidently in your divine calling. For many, discovering their purpose comes with a sense of struggle. We often search for meaning in the wrong places, trying to measure our worth by the standards of the world. We question why we face adversity, while others seem to have it easy. But the chosen path is not one of ease or comfort. It is one of growth, refinement, and transformation. The challenges you face, the moments of rejection, loneliness, and confusion were not punishments. They were preparations. Through them, God has been molding your heart, strengthening your faith, and deepening your reliance on Him. In the process of being refined, your faith is tested. Just as gold is purified through fire, your spirit is purified through life's trials. These experiences are not meant to break you, but to shape you into someone who is capable of carrying out the mission that God has entrusted to you. In the silence and in the storms, God is still working. He is refining your character, teaching you resilience, and preparing you to step fully into the purpose for which you were chosen. This journey is not about being perfect or flawless. It's about being faithful. The chosen ones are those who have endured the hardships and remained steadfast even when the world didn't understand them. They may have faced rejection, mockery, or isolation, but through it all they held on to their faith and trusted that God's plan was greater than their circumstances. The divine calling on your life is not just about what you do, it's about who you become in the process. It's about becoming the person who can carry out the purpose that God has set before you with humility, courage, and unwavering faith. Now is the time to embrace your divine purpose. The wait is over. You have been chosen, and it's time to rise. The steps you've taken up until now were not in vain. They have prepared you for this very moment. God has equipped you with everything you need to walk in your purpose, and He is ready to reveal more to you as you take the next steps in faith. Your journey of purpose and calling has just begun, and it will be nothing short of extraordinary. The path of the chosen is not one of immediate success or comfort. It is a path of transformation, one that involves going through trials and challenges that, while difficult, are meant to refine and elevate you. Transformation is the process by which your spirit is shaped and your character is molded into something far greater than you could ever imagine. This process is essential for those who are called to fulfill a higher purpose. Without transformation, you would not be able to carry the weight of the divine calling on your life. Throughout history, the chosen ones have often faced trials that seem insurmountable. From Job's suffering to Joseph's betrayal by his brothers, the journey of the chosen is one of endurance and perseverance. These trials are not meant to destroy you but to shape you. Every hardship you have faced, whether it be the pain of rejection, the weight of loneliness, or the sting of betrayal, has been part of God's refining process. In the darkest of times, when the road seemed long and the answers elusive, God was at work within you, preparing you for the next chapter of your divine purpose. The key to understanding this transformation lies in embracing the discomfort that comes with growth. Just as a seed must break through the soil to grow into a strong tree, your spirit must sometimes be broken and tested to develop the strength and resilience necessary for the tasks ahead. You may not always understand why things are happening the way they are, but trust that God in His infinite wisdom has a plan. He is using every difficulty, every moment of silence, and every heartache as a tool to refine you for something greater. Isaiah 4:3-19 reminds us, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" This is the essence of transformation. It is a process that is often invisible at first, but it is unfolding behind the scenes. You may feel as though you are in a period of waiting with nothing changing or progressing, but in reality God is preparing you for the next phase of your journey. You are being equipped, strengthened, and purified in ways you cannot yet see. As you go through this transformation, it's important to remember that your trials are not in vain. They are purposeful and they are shaping you into the person you need to be. The challenges you face are not obstacles to your success. They are the very tools that will allow you to walk in your purpose with authority and wisdom. Without the fire, gold cannot be refined. Without the storm, a tree cannot grow strong roots. So as you face adversity, know that God is at work within you, preparing you to step into your divine calling. The transformation you are undergoing is not just about external success, but about internal growth. It's about shedding old beliefs, healing wounds, and releasing attachments to things that no longer serve your divine purpose. It is a process of becoming more aligned with God's will, understanding your true identity, and embracing the strength that comes from knowing who you are in Him. This path of transformation is one of preparation. Every season you have walked through, every moment of doubt and struggle, has been preparing you for what's ahead. And while you may not yet fully understand the purpose behind everything, trust that the work being done in your life is shaping you for a higher purpose. When the time comes for you to step into your divine calling, you will be ready, not because of your own strength, but because God has been preparing you every step of the way. The journey of the chosen is one that requires an unwavering faith and a willingness to surrender to God's will, even when the path ahead is unclear. Faith is not merely about believing in God during the easy times, but about trusting Him when you cannot see the way forward. It's about believing in His promises, even when your circumstances seem to contradict them. For the chosen ones, faith becomes the foundation of their journey, the anchor that holds them steady in the midst of life's storms. And alongside faith comes surrender, a deep, intentional release of control, allowing God to lead and guide your steps, even when the future remains uncertain. Faith is not about having all the answers or understanding the bigger picture. It's about trusting that God has a plan and that His ways are higher than our own. Isaiah 5:9 reminds us, "As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." Often the journey of the chosen requires walking in faith, knowing that the path may not always make sense. There may be moments when you feel lost or confused, unsure of the next step. But it is precisely in these moments of uncertainty that faith becomes essential. It is faith that keeps you moving forward one step at a time, even when the road is obscured by fog. Surrendering to God's will is one of the most powerful acts of faith you can offer. To surrender means to release your desire for control and submit to His perfect timing. It's not about passively waiting for life to unfold. It's about actively letting go of the need to orchestrate every detail and trusting that God's plan is better than anything you could create on your own. Surrender requires humility and a recognition that you do not know it all, that God in His infinite wisdom sees the bigger picture. Romans 8:28 reassures us, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." When you surrender, you are acknowledging that your life is not your own but is part of a divine plan that transcends your immediate understanding. There are times when God's plan may seem delayed when you find yourself in a season of waiting. It can be frustrating and disheartening, especially when it feels like others are moving ahead while you remain stuck in place. But the waiting is not a sign of abandonment, it is part of the preparation process. During these periods, God is refining you, building your trust, and teaching you to rely fully on Him. Psalm 27:14 encourages us, "Wait for the Lord. Be strong, and take heart, and wait for the Lord." The waiting is not wasted time. It is a time of growth, trust, and strengthening. Faith and surrender go hand in hand. As you grow in faith, you learn to surrender more deeply. And as you surrender, your faith is strengthened. The more you let go of your own plans and lean into God's will, the more you discover that He is faithful to guide and direct you. Proverbs 3:5-6 states, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." This is the promise of surrender, that when you release your will to God, He will lead you on the path that is best for you, even when that path is not what you expected. Surrendering doesn't mean that you won't face trials or moments of doubt. It simply means that in those moments, you choose to place your trust in God's hands rather than trying to solve everything yourself. You trust that His love for you is unshakable, that His timing is perfect, and that His plans for your life are far greater than you can imagine. In those moments of surrender, you become free from worry, free from the need to control, and free to walk confidently in the knowledge that God is with you every step of the way. The journey of the chosen is not one of instant gratification or smooth sailing. It is a path marked by resilience, the ability to withstand trials, endure hardship, and rise again after each setback. Resilience is not simply about surviving difficult moments. It's about growing through them. It's about finding strength in weakness, purpose in pain, and hope in despair. For the chosen ones, resilience becomes the cornerstone of their journey. It is through resilience that they fulfill their divine calling, for without it, they would not have the inner strength to walk the challenging road that lies ahead. The world often glorifies ease and comfort, but for the chosen the road is rarely easy. From the beginning, the path is one of constant testing. The Bible is filled with examples of resilient figures who faced immense trials and challenges but continued to persevere. Consider Job, who endured the loss of his family, wealth, and health, yet never wavered in his faith. Despite the immense suffering, Job's resilience was rewarded, and he emerged from the trial with a deeper understanding of God's sovereignty. Job 2:3-10 reflects his faith. But he knows the way that I take. When he has tested me, I will come forth as gold. Just like Job, the chosen ones are refined through their struggles, emerging stronger and more aligned with their purpose. Resilience in the chosen path doesn't mean being invulnerable to pain or hardship. It means enduring with purpose. It means facing adversity and continuing to trust in God's plan, even when the circumstances seem insurmountable. Resilience is not about avoiding the storm. It's about learning to dance in the rain. When the storms of life come, the chosen ones are not immune to them, but their faith allows them to endure and rise above. They understand that the trials they face are not signs of defeat, but opportunities for growth and refinement. This resilience is nurtured through the practice of endurance, of continuing to move forward even when it feels like the weight of the world is pressing down. Hebrews 1:21 calls us to run with perseverance the race marked out for us. The chosen are not called to give up or turn back when the going gets tough. They are called to endure. It is through perseverance that their character is built, their faith is tested, and their strength is cultivated. Each trial they face is an opportunity to deepen their faith, sharpen their resolve, and grow closer to God. The ability to persevere also requires a shift in perspective. Resilience comes from seeing challenges not as obstacles but as opportunities for growth. When the chosen face hardships, they are not simply focused on the pain. Instead, they see the purpose behind the struggle. They know that each challenge is shaping them for the divine purpose God has set before them. The Apostle Paul in Romans 5:3-4 reminds us that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope. The chosen learn that resilience is not a one-time event, but a continual process of growth through suffering. Each time they face a trial, they are becoming more equipped for the purpose God has planned for them. One of the most powerful aspects of resilience in the chosen path is the ability to remain faithful in the midst of uncertainty. The chosen ones understand that the road may not always be clear, and that they may not always understand the full scope of God's plan. But even in the unknown, they trust that God is guiding them, that His presence is with them, and that He is using every circumstance for their good. This unwavering faith in the face of uncertainty strengthens their resilience and empowers them to keep moving forward. In the chosen path, resilience is not just about enduring, it's about thriving in the face of adversity. It's about finding joy and peace despite the circumstances. It's about trusting that no matter how difficult the road may seem, God's purpose for your life will always prevail. And with each trial you endure, you become more aligned with the divine calling that is uniquely yours. Resilience is the strength to rise again, the courage to keep going, and the unwavering belief that no matter what, God is faithful to finish the work He has begun in you. The journey of the chosen is not only one of purpose and transformation, it is also one of self-discovery. The path is designed to help you awaken to the true identity that God has placed within you, an identity that is deeply rooted in His love and divine plan. As the trials, hardships, and moments of solitude refine you, they also reveal the person God created you to be. The world may try to define you by external labels, by your past mistakes, your accomplishments, or the expectations others have placed on you, but God's definition of you is far greater. Your true identity is found not in what the world says you are, but in who God says you are. The process of awakening to your true identity is one of shedding the false identities and labels that have been placed on you over the years. Many times we carry the weight of expectations and misconceptions, whether from family, friends, or society. We may see ourselves through the lens of past failures, insecurities, or what others have spoken over us. But in God's eyes, you are not defined by your mistakes or limitations. You are defined by His love and the calling He has placed on your life. As you walk the path of the chosen, you begin to peel away the layers of falsehoods and misconceptions that have clouded your understanding of who you truly are. This journey of self-discovery requires a deep intimacy with God. It is through spending time in His presence, through prayer, reflection, and meditation on His Word, that you begin to hear the truth about who you are. Ephesians 2:10 reminds us, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works which God prepared in advance for us to do." Your true identity is tied to the unique purpose God has created you to fulfill. You are not a random collection of traits or experiences. You are His masterpiece, intricately designed with purpose. Understanding this truth is crucial to walking confidently in your divine calling. When you realize that you are God's handiwork, you begin to see yourself not as a mistake or an accident, but as a vessel chosen for greatness. This awakening process is often painful because it requires confronting the lies we have believed about ourselves. For many, it means letting go of shame, fear, or guilt that has accumulated over years of misunderstanding our worth. The chosen path requires a willingness to confront these lies and embrace the truth that God has always seen you as worthy, loved, and equipped for your calling. 1 Peter 2:9 says, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession." This verse serves as a reminder that you are chosen not because of anything you have done, but because of who God is and the love He has for you. As you awaken to your true identity, you also begin to embrace the unique gifts and talents God has given you. These gifts are not for your own glory, but for the fulfillment of the divine purpose on your life. God has equipped you with everything you need to carry out His will. Your strengths, your passions, and even your struggles have been woven into the fabric of your identity, and they are all part of the divine plan He has for you. The more you walk in alignment with your true identity, the more you will see how every aspect of your life fits together to fulfill God's perfect will. This awakening to your true self is not a one-time event, but a continual process of growth. As you continue on the chosen path, you will encounter moments of doubt, confusion, and testing. But each of these moments serves to further refine your understanding of who you are in Christ. The chosen are not immune to struggles, but their identity in God gives them the strength to persevere. You will face moments where the world tries to pull you back into old ways of thinking, but the more you stand firm in your true identity, the less power those false identities will have over you. Living in your true identity brings freedom. It frees you from the need to prove yourself to others, from the burden of comparison, and from the weight of trying to fit into molds that were never meant for you. It allows you to walk in your purpose with confidence, knowing that God has equipped you for every task He has set before you. And as you embrace your true identity, you begin to shine in a way that only the chosen can, a light that reflects the love, grace, and power of the One who created you. The awakening of your true identity is a powerful step in your journey as a chosen one. It is the moment when you realize that you are not defined by your past, your circumstances, or the world's standards, but by the love and calling of God. This understanding transforms the way you live, the way you approach challenges, and the way you serve others. It is a declaration that you are ready to walk fully in the purpose God has for your life with confidence, humility, and unwavering faith. As you walk along the chosen path, there comes a sacred moment when all that you have endured, all the trials you faced, and all the moments of surrender and resilience culminate in a divine revelation. This is the moment when the veil lifts and you come face to face with the divine purpose for your life, fully awakened to the reality of your calling. The final meeting with God is not an ending but a divine reunion, a moment when every tear, every heartache, and every challenge makes sense. The life you have lived with all its ups and downs was leading you to this sacred moment of fulfillment. Throughout the journey, you may have felt like you were walking in the shadows, uncertain of your worth or the outcome of your efforts. There were times when the world seemed to misunderstand you, when you felt alone or disconnected from your true purpose. But God in His perfect timing has been with you every step of the way. And now as you reach the culmination of your journey, you are about to enter into a divine reward. A reward not based on worldly success or recognition, but on your faithfulness, obedience, and surrender to God's will. The final meeting with God is a moment of profound connection. It is a sacred encounter where you will be able to look into the eyes of the Creator and hear the words that every soul longs to hear. Well done, good and faithful servant. This is not a moment of judgment but one of celebration. It is a moment of reunion with the one who called you from the very beginning, who knew you before you were born, and who has been guiding you toward this moment of fulfillment. Revelation 2:2-12 says, "Look, I am coming soon, my reward is with me, and I will give to each person according to what they have done." The reward is not merely for what you have achieved, but for your faithfulness to the divine purpose God set for you. In this divine meeting, every moment of suffering, every instance of doubt, and every season of waiting will be revealed as part of a larger, beautiful plan. You will see how every hardship was used to shape you, refine you, and prepare you for what you are about to receive. What once felt like punishment will be understood as divine preparation. And in the presence of God, all the weight of the world's misunderstandings, disappointments, and rejections will fall away, replaced with the overwhelming love and acceptance of the one who knows you intimately and loves you unconditionally. This divine reward is not about material wealth or earthly status. It is about the eternal joy that comes from knowing you have fulfilled your divine purpose. 1 Corinthians 2:9 tells us, "No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has imagined what God has prepared for those who love Him. What awaits you is far beyond anything the world can offer." It is a reward that cannot be measured in earthly terms but in spiritual fulfillment. You will experience peace like never before, joy that transcends understanding, and a deep sense of contentment, knowing that you have walked the path God set before you and fulfilled the mission He entrusted to you. The final meeting with God is also a moment of total healing. Every wound, every scar, and every painful memory will be healed in the presence of God's love. Isaiah 2:5-8 speaks of this healing, saying, "He will swallow up death forever. The sovereign Lord will wipe away the tears from all faces." In this divine moment, all the pain and suffering of the world will be forgotten, replaced with the eternal joy and peace that come from being in the presence of the Creator. Your heart will be filled with a sense of fulfillment and wholeness, knowing that everything you experienced on the journey was leading you to this moment of divine connection and reward. Moreover, this final meeting is not just about receiving your reward, but about embracing the fulfillment of your purpose in its truest form. You were chosen not just to endure or survive, but to fulfill a higher calling. As you stand in the presence of God, you will fully understand the significance of your journey, the impact it had not only on your own life but on the lives of others. The reward is not just for you, it is for everyone you touched along the way, for every person you helped, every life you influenced, and every act of love and kindness you extended. This divine reward is the culmination of your journey, the final affirmation that you were right where God needed you to be, doing what He called you to do. And in that moment you will understand that the trials, the waiting, and the challenges were never wasted. They were all part of a greater story, one that led to this sacred reunion with God where you will hear, "Well done." This is the moment where your journey finds its true purpose, and you enter into the eternal joy of fulfilling the divine destiny that was set for you from the very beginning. The journey of the chosen is one of profound significance, shaped by faith, resilience, transformation, and divine purpose. It is a path that is not always easy, but it is always meaningful. As you walk this sacred journey, remember that you were never meant to walk alone. God has been with you every step of the way, orchestrating your circumstances, refining your character, and preparing you for the greater purpose He set for you before you were even born. The trials, the waiting, and the moments of doubt were never meant to break you. They were meant to build you up, to shape you into the person who could carry out the divine calling that is uniquely yours. You have faced hardship, rejection, and isolation, but each of these experiences has been a stepping stone toward your divine destiny. The world may not understand your path, and at times you may have felt alone in your journey. But know this: You are part of something far greater than yourself. You are chosen, set apart, for a purpose that goes beyond anything the world can offer. Your life has been intricately designed, not for the fleeting pleasures of this world, but for eternal significance. As you continue on this journey, remember the power of faith and surrender. Faith is what carries you when the road is unclear, when the answers seem out of reach, and when the world around you is filled with noise and confusion. It is in those moments of uncertainty that you must place your trust in God's plan, knowing that He is always with you, guiding you toward your divine purpose. Surrendering to His will is not a sign of weakness, but a declaration of trust, acknowledging that His plan for your life is far greater than anything you could orchestrate on your own. The path of the chosen is not for the faint of heart, but it is one of transformation and growth. Every trial, every test, and every moment of waiting has been refining you, preparing you to step into the fullness of your calling. As you walk in alignment with God's will, you are becoming the person He created you to be: strong, resilient, and filled with purpose. You are not defined by your past struggles, but by the love and calling of God that has been on your life from the beginning. And as the time approaches for you to fully embrace your divine purpose, remember that the ultimate reward is not found in earthly achievements or recognition. The final meeting with God is where your true reward lies. It is not about what you have accomplished, but about your faithfulness and obedience to the calling He has placed on your life. When you stand before Him, you will hear the words every soul longs to hear: "Well done, good and faithful servant." In that moment you will understand that every sacrifice, every moment of doubt, and every step of faith was worth it. You will experience a joy and peace that transcends all understanding, knowing that you have fulfilled the purpose for which you were chosen. The journey is not over. It is only just beginning. The shift has already begun, and you are now ready to rise. Embrace the transformation that God is bringing into your life. Step boldly into the purpose He has for you, and trust that He will continue to guide you every step of the way. You are chosen, and the world is waiting for you to step fully into your divine calling. Trust in God's plan, walk in His light, and know that the best is yet to come.